Hello everyone. What we're looking at here is a little 10-gallon tank. I went and got this on Thursday night, and the reason I did that was my boy wanted a puffer tank. And I actually had already a little 10-gallon, but it was cracked, and I figured by the time I repair things and set it up with filter and lighting, that, things add up, and this was actually more cost-effective way to go. Wasn't exactly what I was expecting. On the top here, the guy was actually using just a cordless rechargeable LED lamp, but it works. But I'm going to upgrade that to a strip light. And it's just a cheap, basic top fin filter. But there again, wasn't expecting much. It's still cost effective to get it this way. It was actually a running, cherry shrimp tank. Pretty much escaped exactly the way we see it. And planted and all. That's where just made it easy for me. I just drained it down. I didn't take anything out actually. I saved 80% of the water and just moved it, transitioned it. And you can actually see a cherry shrimp there on the back. I'm counting about, there's another on the wood there. I can count about 7 at any given time. One of the females was buried, and I found a baby in there, which I haven't found again. I actually lost 2 shrimp since we moved it, but I can't find anything wrong with the water. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I think probably just change, and the shrimp don't like change. May have got cool during the move, and I did top it off, but kept it as stable as I could. And I've heard of other people being successful keeping pea puffers with shrimp. Of course, they'll pick off babies, but I figured I'd give it a try. It just worked out because my boy wanted pea puffers. So today we added them, and there's one swimming there now. We wound up getting 3 of them. I have done a little bit of research on how to sex them. I'm not sure what these guys are, or if they're even big enough to be sexed yet. But they seem to be settling in well. There's another one you see swimming in the back there. I wasn't sure about having 3 in such a small tank because I've heard they can be aggressive towards each other, but so far I've noticed very peaceful shoaling behavior with them. So I'm happy we got 3. They seem to enjoy each other's company and navigate their new habitat together. This guy here I think is the most colorful. I was a little concerned with him because his belly wasn't the biggest, and I've heard that can be an issue with puffers, but he seems healthy and well. He's exploring and settling in, and they seem to show no interest in the shrimp here so far. So I'm not overly worried about them harming the shrimp either. Maybe as they grow they may, but in such a small tank, if they get some of the babies but not all, that could be a good thing. There's 2 of them there. There's one more somewhere in there. He's probably in the back exploring. You see the difference in color there. That one guy closest to the corner is the most colorful, but was actually the skinniest. I don't know if that is male and female. I heard something about wrinkling around the eyes, but again, I'm not sure if these guys are even big enough to distinguish yet. Oh, there's number 3 in the back there, just popped out, and he tucked back in behind the rock there. But I'm happy with this little setup, and my son's interest, somewhat new interest in the hobby. He's always, I have multiple tanks going, and shown limited interest, but when he asked me to get him a puffer tank, it was hard to refuse. I've never actually kept puffers and figured they're actually one of the simplest and easiest of all the puffers, and being a small size, they're suitable for small little nano tanks. And the only tricky part I could see about them is their specialty feeding. It may require frozen foods only, maybe even live foods. I've heard of people adapting them to dry foods, which I'm going to attempt to do. The pet store I purchased them from basically seemed to have the attitude, of good luck with that, but I always like to push things and see how I can do things differently and experiment with things. And if you do push limits and experiment with things, often we are surprised with what we can do. I've heard of other fish keepers saying they don't believe in that at all, and anything will eventually eat if you're persistent. So, happy with the new addition. All three of them, as we see, getting along communally, navigating their new habitat, and looking quite nice in this planted setting. I have some of the plants up there floating, which I'm probably going to plant in the back behind the rocks there in that space. I'm going to blow where that shrimp is. But for now, I'm just leaving alone and letting everyone settle in. I'll do some updates as little pea puffer guys settle in and see how this all works out. The pea puffer cherry shrimp combo. And loving these little guys. They just have awesome character. Always looking around, checking out their surroundings, looking for things they can munch on. And the amount of character in just a small package is amazing. The way their eyes move around and look at you, and as they get to know you, they'll follow you, and you can get them to follow your finger, and just a really cool, a lot of character little fish that can be kept in smaller tanks and easy as far as puffers go. They're a true freshwater. They don't need brackish that so many people think that puffers need, or that possibly are even saltwater puffers people are familiar with. There's actually quite a few freshwater puffers. Some of them get quite pricey, but I'm quite happy with the pea puffers with their small size, small cost, and huge personality. Just gonna experiment with the feeding of them and see if we can simplify matters with getting them on a dry food or something. But if not, we'll take care of them and hope these guys stay getting along the way they are so far. This tank's looking good, and loving the new addition of these cute, adorable, enjoyable little pea puffers. Love these guys. Recommend them to anyone getting interested in puffers. Alright guys, bye for now.